We just bought a house with a 4-car garage and a really funky layout. We're gonna flip this thing, we're gonna turn it into a masterpiece, and we're gonna take you along for the adventure.
Hi, I'm Maylee Nelson, real estate agent and real estate investor.
And I'm Mitch Nelson. I'm a real estate investor and a best-selling author.
We met and fell in love through our shared passion of turning old rundown homes into something beautiful.
Together we have over a decade of experience in real estate investing. We've flipped dozens of homes and we've amassed a multi-million-dollar rental portfolio that spans the country.
We started real estate investing to create generational wealth for our families and for our children's families.
Real estate investing has been an incredible journey for us, and we're excited to take you along for the ride.
This house was brought to us by one of my students, Mike. Now, we got excited about this house because it has a 4-car garage. It's the perfect man house, but it does have kind of a funky layout. Nonetheless, we bought it. We're excited to take on this amazing project, and we'll see what we can do with it. So when we first bought this house, our plan was just to do a splash and dash, just some paint and carpet, and then put it on the market and sell it. Now, our plans have evolved a little bit because the market's been so good, we're actually gonna do a little bit more work on this project. We're gonna put a bathroom in the basement, we're gonna add a couple of bedrooms, we're gonna convert the workshop that's in the basement into a living room. We're hoping we can sell it for more than we originally planned, but we'll find out. Let's talk about those beginning numbers.
All right, let's talk numbers. This one should be fun. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath house. We purchased this property for $315,000, which is a great deal in this area. Our remodel budget is $30,000 on this project, and once it's all done, we plan to list it for $410,000. We'll be including you on every step in this house and sharing a little bit of knowledge along the way. So let's go check out some of the work that's been done on the project and make sure that everything is headed in the right direction.
Okay, well, we're about halfway through on this project, and, and it's been interesting. I mean, we've run into a couple of things that we've never seen before. So one of them was the hermetically sealed wallpaper on the wall.
Hermetically is probably a good thing.
That stuff didn't come off no matter what we tried.
No,
so
we tried everything that anybody could suggest to me. We did the little perforation thing on there. They actually put a steamer on it, steamed it, scraping it, and no matter what, it was just stringy and just stayed on there, wouldn't come off. And this has worked before, so don't laugh, but we use fabric softener.
Yeah.
And fabric softener actually works really well.
Makes sense. That makes sense to me.
So the regular, and we actually used that in the first room right there, that had the regular paper, and we used it in that room and it worked like a dream.
Yeah.
So they tried it in the other room, it didn't work. So
what was the solution?
The solution for it, and a lot of people are gonna say, why did you do that? The electrician's gonna hate you. We put 1/4-inch sheetrock on top of it. So we just took it as much as we could, sanded it down a little bit so it didn't, wasn't too wavy, and then we just took 1/4-inch sheetrock and just sheetrocked the whole room out.
Well, part of what we have to focus on with these flips is we've got to balance the measure of time. And if we've got something like wallpaper that's not coming off, how much money are we going to be spending in people's time trying to get that off?
That's what I
versus
ended up telling them.
Yeah, versus just throwing up sheetrock like you did and then painting over that and making the appropriate adjustments.
Yeah.
So No, that was a clever fix. I like that.
Yeah, because you got to look at man hours versus what you're, how many man hours did he spend trying to get that off of there, and then he still hadn't given up.
Yeah.
So he was still going to spend more man hours doing it. And I just looked at him and said, hey, why don't you just go down and buy some 1/4 inch, hang it, and you'll be done.
Yeah.
And he said, that's a good idea. So,
It's a great idea. You were telling me that there was an incredible amount of garbage. Like the trash out that we had to do on this property was abnormally large.
I wouldn't call it garbage. It's more of, I've lived in this house all my life.
Right. 60 years.
Yeah, 60 years or however long the guy lived here. And for the last probably 10 years of his life, he was there by himself. So he was just doing his own thing. He was a real tinkerer, so he had all kinds of stuff, so it's stuff. But it was 3 30-yard dumpsters of stuff before we even started pulling any of the actual demo stuff out of the house. So carpet, doors, all that stuff was still in the house before we even got to dumpster 4.
One man's treasure is another man's trash, right?
Exactly. I couldn't find any treasures in it though.
Yeah. Well,
There was nothing there I wanted.
And then I think the other kind of weird challenge that we had is they build a weird, like dry stacked cinder block lean-to on the end of the garage.
On the end of the garage, yeah. They actually built, and it's kind of funny because they took the time and they poured a nice pad back there, and then he decided that he wanted an extra place to put some more of his stuff, So they took just cinder blocks and just stacked them. And they didn't put no mortar, nothing. They just literally just stacked them all the way up to 5.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And then built a roof on top of a lean-to roof. So there's nothing except gravity holding those bricks.
If you accidentally bump it or lean on
Yeah,
it or something.
yeah, they would literally push out.
Yeah.
And he even went to the, I wouldn't say expense, but I mean the trouble of putting a window in there too. So there was actually a window that was just clamped in between the blocks with no screws holding it in.
Obviously no permit on that.
Obviously.
That's what we call a homeowner special, right? They just do whatever they think is going to work for the situation. And, yeah. We end up having to clean it up. All right, we did it. It's done. It was a little bit of an adventure. We got scared a couple of times along the way, but you know what? It turned out awesome, and we're excited to show you guys.
Come on, let's go take a look. Yes! This looks fan-freaking-tastic.
Turned out nice. I love it.
Staging really transforms this space into just a vibrant, beautiful home that people feel like it's cozy, it's warm. I'm really happy how it turned out.
Yeah, this is awesome. I really like it. Lots of lighting. I think that's important. You can definitely underdo lighting. And I think this gives the space, a lot of really good light. We got the big windows in here. This house has a ton of windows. I think especially for a lower end home or a mid-range home, we've been doing a lot of high end homes, but in these mid-range homes, this one turned out pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Sure.
And the staging looks great, so well done with that.
Yeah. The other thing that we really want to do is make sure that we pull in the greens. So the color of the year for 2022 is actually evergreen fog. It's a green color. We don't have any of that in here, but just pulling in those rich green and brown tones are definitely what people want for 2022. So that's super helpful. You'll see a lot of that in our just different Instagram posts, but also throughout our entire properties. So here comes a new beautiful template for 2022. I'm so excited to share it with everyone.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, so for the kitchen space, you can absolutely tell that we left some old cabinetry, right? No one will ever know. Okay, they definitely knew, and it was just fine.
But it's fine, and you and I were really worried about that because we don't normally leave cabinets that were there before. in the hundreds of homes that we flipped, I think there's maybe like 3 of them, including this one that we left the cabinets in. And I do too. I think it turned out, but we were a little bit scared at first because you never know how people are going to receive that, right? We just didn't have the budget to do an all new kitchen. So you see, we kept the same floor tile, we kept the same cabinets, and I think it turned out.
Yeah, I mean, we painted them. Yep, exactly. So we did just give it a nice facelift by putting granite on top. That does make it go, okay, they did rehab the property. That's all they want. They want granite, you know? And then we did the nice backsplash. We have a nice, all new appliances. That's nice. Everything's brand new. Everything's freshly painted. And Sam does an incredible job because truthfully, you can't keep old cabinets if you don't have a good painter.
Yeah.
You just can't. It is hideous. It looks like it has 5 layers of garbage on there. Yeah. You definitely want a good painter that can really do a good job of refurbishing what was old and nasty. So
turned out nice. Sam. And again, the staging ties everything together, right? Because we went with our normal template, which is gray walls, gray granite, but we have beige tile. We were concerned about it, but again, staging ties everything together. I think it turned out awesome, and I think we're going to be really happy with the results.
Absolutely. This is already, I know, people have been driving by like, why are you listing it? Why are you listing it? People are dying in this neighborhood. This is such a sought after neighborhood though. Yeah. For Ogden, it really is just this quaint, quiet, beautiful. I'm just so excited to see what people say. So yay. I think for a functioning bathroom, this turned out fabulous. Lowe's, guys, this is such a beautiful piece. I just love the royal blue. It's so pretty. And then the gold handles. It really just turned out so nice. Oh, weird. I didn't know it did that. That's so clever. I want that in my bathroom. That's nice. That's great organizing. So, anyway, again, leftover tile. Buy in bulk if you can, because you get really good deals. And we were able to use the same exact tile that we used over at Olympic for the bathroom, both rooms. Pretty helpful, I think. So there is no master in this house, and I thought that would be a huge deterrent for people purchasing in this neighborhood. But unfortunately, there was just no way to make a master. So in some of these homes, that's kind of a rule of thumb, we have to create a master. But because of the location and the price point, we kind of forfeited it because of this. This is what we're really excited about. Originally, when we purchased this house, right, they listed this as a home, or this was a bedroom. It technically is a bedroom because there's a closet, there's a window, right? There's an escape, it's a nice size, it's functioning. Only one problem. They added this massive 2-car garage. So you can't really walk from the garage into a bedroom. You can't do that. I still listed it as a bedroom, but we staged it as an office, rightfully so, because it could be a really cool mud room or something like that. But I think it's an awesome, incredible office, actually. So come on, check out the garage. This thing is J-bungous. This is, I think, a man's dream here. This is, I bet every man in all of Ogden is going to be fighting over this space. I know I would, and I'm not even a man, so there you go. It's incredible. So much space up top for so many wonderful activities.
It's making my head spin how many activities we can do.
I think even an RV could fit in here. I have no idea how big this space is, but it's pretty incredible. And it has a heater and a furnace in here, or a furnace and an AC. It's an incredible space.
All right, this basement turned out incredible. There's a lot of really cool things we did, so let's check it out. Starting with this living room. So this place was actually a workshop when we bought the house. There was a sliding glass door on that threshold, and this was, cement floors, studded walls, and it was set up to be an amazing workshop. However, with all the garage space at this house, we decided to turn this into an amazing living room and use what was the living room to add some bedrooms. So one interesting thing though about kind of what happened in this space, the doorway was too small to get any significant size couch in for the stagers.
So we had to get creative. The stagers found sectional seating, and we were able to stage this room, and it turned out beautiful. All right, so this room used to be the bathroom. We turned it into the laundry room and built an entirely new bathroom from scratch. So let's go check that out. This is the bathroom. It turned out incredible. And we ended up doing all new fixtures, new toilet, new tub, new vanity, and a custom built-in shelf to turn this into a really cool, really luxurious basement bathroom. And at this price point that we're listing this house at, I think that this exceeds it, and I'm hoping that some of these extra things that we did, even on the small budget that we had, helps us push that value a little bit further. All right, so this bedroom and the one next to it, we actually were able to add. This used to be the living room space in this basement, and one thing that was cool about it is it had awesome 1990s bowling alley carpet. The black with the, neon green and neon pink squiggles and triangles and all that. It was a lot of fun, but it wasn't something that we were going to be able to keep in order to be able to sell this property where we needed to sell it for. So we converted that space into 2 bedrooms, and we were able to increase the living space in the house. Again, moved the living room to the other end of the basement, and I think it turned out amazing. All right, so the last space I want to show you in the basement, it turned into kind of a flex space. It was a kitchen, it was the laundry room. It can be an amazing storage room, it could be a washroom, it could turn into a craft room. There's a lot of amazing things you can do in here. We made the decision not to carpet this room. We actually painted this concrete so that they could use it for literally whatever they want to. But I think this house turned out to have a lot of amazing space that people are gonna love. We'll find out when we put it on the market. Well, we did it. We sold the house. It's under contract. Maylee did an amazing job marketing it. And why don't you tell us how it went?
Yeah, no, I honestly, out of all the fix and flips and the nightmares, the flipping nightmares, the exhaustion that we have taken on, this was by far probably the easiest flip we've ever done.
Probably, yeah.
Not to say there wasn't hiccups, because it's a fix and flip.
I for sure halfway through thought that this would be an episode of Flippin' Nightmares, but I don't think it will be.
No,
I think it went pretty well.
Smooth sailing, and so I say that with a very loaded breath because it's still not over, but we are under contract. So let me definitely give you this spiel. So we listed this house for $479. Now the crazy part about that is that when I was running comps to say, okay, what can I possibly list this house for? My only comps that I had were for $430 and below. So I had $430, or $429, and then a $410, a $415, all right here in this area.
Which I think about $410 was our break even, right?
Right, and I was like, I can't list it for that. Like I know that we didn't do a lot to this property, but we still are in the business of making money and in the business of making your equity partners a lot of money as well, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm like, okay, what's the lowest we can list it? We're trying to figure this out. And Mitch was like, just list it for whatever you think it's worth. I'm like, well, that's a loaded question. I mean, it could be worth $1 million. Like, I don't know. So anyway, we ended up listing it for $479 just to see, because the market will tell us very quickly if it's overpriced. True. There's no showings, right? It's crickets around here. Okay, I overpriced it, So we listed it on a Thursday, like always, our normal jam, right? And by Saturday, we had 6 offers. By Sunday, we had everyone in a frenzy. We had up to 12 offers on this property. It just became chaos. Everyone trying to bid on top of each other. And you called it with the garages. He totally did. He's like, it's gonna be a frenzy and it's because of those dang garages. And I'm like, okay, like they're garages. Oh no, it was a man's bidding more. Not just a woman's bidding more, a man's bidding more.
Which was interesting. I mean, this is why I think we got so nervous about this particular property is usually we do flips for women. We do, we focus on things that women care about, like kitchens and, bathrooms and family rooms and masters. And so this was out of our norm, right? This house, we weren't prepared and we didn't think about when we were looking at the numbers that it would be men that were interested in this property. And sure enough, with the huge garages, with this is a man's house. This is a man cave.
Oh, this is, yes, and it became a like full-on brawl with these men. Like, it was so fun to be a part of it. We ended up accepting an offer at $550,000, $10,000 non-refundable earnest money upon acceptance, which that's nuts. That means they've waived all due diligence, right? Like, they can't back out without giving us 10 grand for any reason. Plus, they gave us a $25,000 appraisal gap guarantee, which basically just means that if, for whatever reason, when we get the appraisal, because I don't know if it's gonna appraise for 550. Like, I was stressing out at 479, right? Like, I don't know. So, luckily, our appraisers are being very, like, they're also in business to make the loan, you know, to make the bank's money, and if they're turning down money that they could be capturing from buyers,
they're not going to get business.
They're not going to get business anymore.
And they understand the market, right? They understand that we're in a crazy market that's climbing at the moment, so we can't really go off of direct comps. We've got to adjust for what the market's doing, and right now, it's going up.
Yeah, and I honestly think that just that huge 2-car garage that's built on, you know, attached to this house is worth $100,000 by itself. And there is no property in this entire valley that has that, so we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Well done, by the way. Congrats.
Thank you.
Let's go talk about those final numbers. All right, let's get to the good stuff, the final numbers. We purchased this property for $315,000. We spent $47,000 on the renovation project, which is more than double what we planned on spending in the beginning. Holding costs came in around $43,000. We use other people's money to do this deal, so this is essentially the interest paid back when we were done, as well as insurance, property tax, and utilities. Closing and agent costs were about $37,000, and we sold it for $539,000 because of the awesome job Maylee did marketing this property. Our total profit on this deal was about $97,000. Maylee was also the agent on this deal, so we got to recoup some of the closing costs in the form of agent commissions, which is part of our overall strategy, but that's beyond the scope of this video. If you'd like to learn more about how we do what we do, please be sure to check out our podcast. Also, join us on our live education call every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Links to both are in the description below. All right, guys, that's all we have for you in this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you've got any comments about the property, the deal that we did, leave them in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you, especially if you've got any ideas for us in future flips based on this one. And if you would have done anything different, let us know. If you liked this video, please make a sacrifice to the YouTube algorithm gods by clicking the thumbs up button. Give us a like, it always helps us out, and it's a free way to support the channel. Also, if you don't want to miss out on future before and after episodes, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you get notified, and we'll see you next time. See you on the flip side.